Hey guys, Mike here from Lunch Money Comics. Today I'm with my friends Steve and Ethan, friends of mine that have actually appeared on the channel in the past. And you guys made a promise to me a long time ago that they would bring me on a comic book crawl on the South Shore of Massachusetts, an area I almost never go to. And we have quite the itinerary planned today, don't we?
Yes, we do. If I can get you to all those places.
We're going to try. We are absolutely going to try. So, old-fashioned comic book crawl, guys, on the South Shore. I think it's going to be a good one. Let's go.
We're going.
All right, here we are at our first stop, Rubber Chicken Comics, which is a store that I missed last time we went on a comic book crawl. So I've heard really good things. So let's check it out. Excited. We got an IG88 welcoming us right off the bat. Thank you.
You get the old comics.
Hey guys. Hi. So there's a lot of cool stuff in the store, including the ceiling. How cool is that?
I know they're coming out with like issue 700 or something.
And we have more comics scrolled away everywhere, $1 books. And then let's look at
I got one.
let's check out the wall books here.
Got one of the Thor ones.
Got your Hulk 181 there, Mike, for you.
Oh yeah?
What grade?
Just start off strong. All right, let's look at the rest of the store here. We have action figures here. We have more cheap back issues, which I need to revisit. We have modern books here, new releases. We have, oh, of course, we have our friend E.T.
No, that's Ralph.
Ralph.
That's E.T.'s brother.
That's E.T.'s brother. They don't talk about him. And then we have, of course, trades. And man, there's a lot in this store. All right, let's, this is awesome. These are my favorite types of stores, though.
Yeah.
So Ethan says I need to start in these boxes. So what do we have here?
This is his $5 bins.
$5 bins.
$5 Bronze Age and
Bronze
Silver
and
Age.
silver.
All right, this is Lunch Money Comics type of hunting. So, all right, let's dig in. All right, let's start here. I got my
Plus, he'll look
trusty
at all
camera
the
mount.
stuff you don't look at. All the PC stuff.
These are these are all $5. It's a pretty good run of Man Thing here.
I was talking to him.
Yeah, I keep on saying I'm going to buy that. And I haven't.
I have most of
I've
them.
always liked this cover.
You know how the sale went last week?
It's not the first pull, I don't think.
I'm not sure.
I know it was increases on news.
Oh, okay.
Ha, I love this. That's crazy. I might have to put that up to the side.
It's got almost the whole run of Eternals.
It's the soundtrack to the movie.
I'll have to jump in over there and check it out. I like these where monsters roam and
Yeah, there's a bunch
creatures
of these in
dwell and all that.
You want to get something interesting, buddy? Third printing?
That's cool.
Okay. Jay should be here shortly.
I always pick up this
Jay.
book because it sells on eBay every time I list it.
Oh, really?
Very
Okay.
popular one.
You too.
It's like the first Red Sonja in like the Marvel modern
Oh.
continuity.
Gotcha.
It's like,
Right. Not back in the Hyborian Age. Or-
Like a relic turns MJ into Red Sonja
Mm-hmm.
in the museum, and then she teams up with Spider-Man.
All right, now that I'm looking up, I don't think this is a reprint, Steve and Ethan. I'm pretty
I don't
sure
think
this
so.
is an original
Yeah,
number
the
2.
reprint would have the diamond, right?
Right.
Usually has the diamond, and it has, some of them have the reprint in the box.
Yeah.
And no UPC. It's either white
I must.
or...
Yeah, we'll open it up to make sure it's not like missing the back cover or something. But
Yeah,
I'm gonna take it.
Check that one.
Oh yeah. Maybe a Machine Man.
Ooh, actually, I was looking for one of those.
All right, here you
I must have missed it.
Rita covers.
go. Marvel team ups.
Yeah, because nobody collects them anymore.
It's a couple really good Marvel team ups.
Yep. First run I ever completed.
Oh really?
Marvel Team Up.
That's a good one.
First comic book I ever got at a pharmacy.
Hmm.
In 1970, I'm dating myself. In 1972, Marvel Team Up number 19. Spider-Man and Kazar.
So we got some $5 12-cent Batmans. Some of these books I have. That's cool. always like this cover. Hey, first Killer Frost.
First I met with the director of safety.
Cool.
Because they have multiple locations.
Definitely grab that. No, these are cool. No, that's a great book.
I think I can press that out. I may be able to
Pretty
iron
bad
it.
I have to
roll.
roll the spine for
Yeah.
you. It's way off.
Matt, I missed it. Huh? It's just sitting there.
Oh man, we're gonna fight.
But this is a second Mr. Freeze, I think.
Cool. Second, really?
I think it
Mr.
is.
Freeze came out really that late. He's not like
Yeah.
a 40s or 50s.
It might be second Silver Age, but this one's really beat up, but that's pretty good. And yeah, it's I know we have a tight itinerary here, but like these boxes are just too good. I'm having too much fun digging, so we're gonna keep digging.
You haven't even seen the dollar.
I haven't even seen. We have dollar boxes too. Oh boy, This might be the whole video,
might be the
just
whole show.
one place. I'd be fine with
That
that.
means I have to make you come down again.
That's fine, anytime. So is this dollar books?
This is your dollars and 50 cents.
Okay, dollars
There's a lot
50
of bronze
cents.
in here. Once in a while you'll find some good stuff. All reading. I call this the reading copy stuff.
Variants. Reader copy. Yeah, you can find some good stuff in the reader books.
Yeah,
though.
sometimes you find stuff when I have the patience to look through it
I
all.
know, right? The patience
All
is,
the
is
next gen
key.
characters.
What do you find in here, Ethan?
Warp comics. It's
Warp?
just,
You
it's
gotta-
just like a weird thing from the
It
90s.
is Frank Bruner art.
Oh,
So
really?
if you remember Frank Bruner,
Of course.
he did a lot of the early Doctor Strange stuff. So
Yeah.
I've been looking for this stuff. He
Oh,
did the first
I-
17 issues.
I
or
learned
so.
something new. Look at that.
And you know, not a lot of value, but great stuff to look at.
That's it. That's
And
important.
and
Yeah,
and a
Bruno's
decent
amazing.
story in there. So
If they're 50 cents, I might grab one. How about that? Let's
anything with Bruner art.
Yeah.
is,
let's see what it's all about. 50 cents, man. I
one
can't
of
say
my
no to that.
favorites.
Ethan's
He
doing
doesn't
the work
mind-
for
he
me.
doesn't
Pulling
mind
out.
the help.
No, he pulled out the X-Men books.
You like X-Men Noir?
I'm not a huge fan. I like the concept behind it, the idea.
Nothing real.
Some of these I don't have. So just to get an idea of how tight this is, how much stuff there is, the three of us are barely in this little aisle. Feels like we're really like discovering cool stuff. So
That's what it is.
it is treasure
I
hunting.
keep on telling him one of these days I'm going to go through every little box he's got stacked up
Oh,
around
forget-
here,
I mean,
because they're everywhere.
It's like it's the structure. I mean, the stuff stacked on them. Like it's what they're putting all their statues on and stuff. So yeah, there's a
Stuff
lot in
everywhere.
here. Unbelievable. Very, very, very cool store. So these are all dollar books, just in this stuff. So we have no idea what's in there. You have no idea. You've never been in here.
No, all the times I've been in here.
There could be.
Except I'd like to go in this one. You got to get a picture of this one.
There could be some gold. Look at this. Like a whole box of Uncanny X-Men. Oh man, that's
What about this one?
tempting. What is that?
It says good stuff.
It says good stuff. I mean, that's intriguing. Hey, look at that, Ethan. 80s, 90s, 60s Star Trek, an entire box.
But this is the stuff we never, you know.
Wow. So as we're about to leave, they pointed out that I have not looked at the regular back issues. All right, give me at least 5 minutes.
You got as much time as you want. It's your day.
I got to come back. That's the only solution, right? Yeah, I mean, I haven't even been to this back corner of the store, and these boxes are full too. All right, this store is nuts, actually. It's impressive. All right, I got a pretty awesome little stack of comic books, and I'm definitely not going to break the bank on this. Pretty impressive finds. Cool. All right, I got to take a look at this because I recently talked about I traded my copy. Oh, it's signed. And I've been looking for a new one. It's signed by Eastman and Laird.
Doodle.
And it's got a remark. They're calling it a 9.0 third print, 750, signed by both. Wow. Let's pause the video for a second for a quick editor's note. I did not buy this book on this day. It was definitely one I was interested in, but I left without it and sort of forgot about it until I was editing this video. Let's just say that this book is no longer at Rubber Chicken Comics. Maybe keep your eyes open for it in a future video. That is pretty cool. Thank you so much. Awesome.
Have a great day.
Happy with the first purchase of the day. All right, that's one heck of a first stop you guys brought me to. I got an awesome, pretty awesome stack of comic books. It's just the first stop. So maybe some lunch and hit the second spot? Is that the
What
plan?
you want to do, yeah.
All right, here we are at our next stop called the Time Capsule, which is comic books and records. And toys?
A little bit.
A little bit of everything? All right, let's check it out. Cool.
I told you.
Wow.
Hey, I'm jealous.
Cool.
I'm jealous. I did mine too.
Oh, there's a lot in here. Video games.
Yeah, a little of everything.
All right, let's check out, we'll start with the wall books here. I want to see what they have. Mandrake the Magician original art. It's pretty cool, 1964. I've never liked the Mark Bagley Hulk. Not a fan.
Not a fan at all.
Just looks like a dude. Ethan found this for me. Pretty cool.
They know my weaknesses.
All right, so Steve, because I'm not pulling the trigger, you are going for this Mexican foil variant of the Claremont Lee X-Men #1. That is very cool.
Just because it's foil and Mexican.
It's different. All right, that was a pretty cool store that had a little bit of absolutely everything. Great back issue bin hunting, and definitely got a couple things. You got something really cool, but we have one more place you want to bring me to?
Yep. Gaming. It's a gaming store. No comics, but it's my friend's gaming store, and I know you love games.
I do love games.
So you will like this store too.
I will like this store. I'm excited.
You will.
Otherwise, guys, I got some fantastic comic books. Thank you so much, Steve and Ethan, for bringing me around. Let's go back to the house to show you guys everything that I got. So there you go. That was my bit of a comic book crawl with my friends Steve and Ethan, father and son collectors. I first met several years ago at a comic book show, and way back then when I first met them, I discovered two things about them. One, they're viewers of Lunch Money Comics, and two, they are clearly big-time collectors of comic books. They had insane comic books on hand, and I've met them several times over the years at various comic book shows. In fact, they've actually appeared in several of my videos, most recently Terrificon. It was actually Steve I bought my Daredevil #1 from. So way back in the first time we met, they actually mentioned if I ever want to go hunting for comic books down near where they live on the South Shore of Massachusetts and near Rhode Island, they had a ton of awesome comic hunting locations they'd love to share with me. And that's a part of the state that I never really go down to very often. So I said, yeah, it sounds like a great idea, but it took years for us to actually get our calendars in sync and able to pull it off. But this was the day, and man, they did not disappoint. In the footage, you only saw 2 locations, but we actually did a lot more than that. The day started off with a tour of their house. They showed me their amazing collections. They showed me their library of omnibuses and trade paperbacks. And they showed me, which was to me the greatest Star Wars toy room I've ever seen in my life. They actually filmed my reaction. I've never seen more Star Wars toys in one place in my life. It was absolutely amazing. These guys collect everything. We also stopped at an outlet store where they sell lots of cheap stuff, and they even sell comic books. Sometimes you can find these, pre-packaged packages of comic books full of all sorts of, modern stuff all the way down to bronze, and you can find some pretty good stuff in there. We didn't find anything great, but Ethan did find a pretty cool toy. We also stopped at a gaming store owned by their friends. It was called Rivendell Books and Games, and it was there that I found out that Steve is actually a part owner of a gaming company. He pointed out one of his games, and I had to pick it up to support him. It's called Mission to Planet Hex. It's published by Move Rate 20 Games. And yeah, it's a space-based game with hexagons. I haven't played it yet. It's still in the package, but I can't wait to. I do love my games. Thought that was really, really cool. We almost went to an antique shop as well, but we ran out of time. All around a fantastic time with Steve and Ethan. A huge thank you to both of them for being such gracious hosts and showing me their hunting locations. You guys will have to come out here to Western Mass sometime so I can show you all my favorite places and return the favor. In regards to the comic books though, guys, I got a small stack, but man, it is mighty, and I definitely bought them for some Lunch Money Comics prices. It's pretty insane. Before I show you what they are, if you like this sort of stuff and you want to support the channel, head on down and hit that like button. Having done this for 2 years, guys, I can tell you nothing really helps the algorithm more than hitting that like button, and a lot of people forget to do it. So head on down, hit that like button, feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, and you can follow me on Instagram under Lunch Money Comics IG. So let's actually start with the second location you saw, which was the Time Capsule in Seekonk, Massachusetts. A very cool store, not just a comic store, but also a vinyl store. They also had, vintage toys. They had cool music playing, just a really cool vibe. and this place had incredible amounts of back issues. It's too bad we weren't there very long, guys. I could have spent the whole day there, but I did end up with a couple of comic books I'm pretty excited to pick up. The first one is this. This is X-Men number 183, amazing Salvador Larroca cover of Apocalypse and his Horsemen. Apocalypse is an ancient Egyptian mutant, very powerful, that can convert other mutants into his Harbingers of Doom, the Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Most notably, he did this with Angel, turning him into Archangel. Well, I picked this book up for a couple of reasons. One, I don't yet have it in my X-Men run. And two, I was actually looking for the books after this, issues 184 and 185, because it's notable Gambit becomes the Horseman of Death. Yeah, leading up to the events of the storyline, Gambit had a very tough time. He just witnessed the events of Decimation, where lots of mutants lost their powers. He was blind for a time. He was having trouble with his relationship with Rogue. So at a very dark place in his life, he approaches Apocalypse and accepts his offer to become the Horseman of Death. That all starts in this issue. Gambit approaches Apocalypse and starts the transformation. Gambit also thought he was being clever in that he would use this opportunity to sort of spy on Apocalypse, but of course it backfires because when you become a Horseman of Apocalypse, you're pretty much under his control. Gambit's personality changes, and he wasn't a very nice guy. And the reason why, people have been thinking about this storyline lately is because of X-Men 97. Huge spoiler alert, if you have not yet watched it and you plan to, you've been warned. Halfway through the season, Gambit dies. And he looks like he's really dead. Well, in the very last shot of the season, you see Apocalypse at the place he died, and it's heavily implied he's going to be resurrected as the Horseman of Death. Obviously, guys, Gambit is super popular. There's no way they're going to leave him off the roster for a season 2. They will find a way to bring him back. And for all those reasons, I want to start reading this storyline. Very cool book, guys. Got it pretty cheap. I'll tell you what I got it for in a second. The other book I got was actually found by Ethan, and it's this. This is the Invincible Iron Man number 125. Ethan is a huge Iron Man collector. It's one of the first characters in runs he started collecting. He thought I'd be interested in this and swung it over to me, and he's absolutely right. The reason it appeals to me? Well, there's several. Number one, this is part 6 of the famous Demon in a Bottle storyline, chronicling Tony Stark's descent into alcoholism. Great series drawn by Bob Layton, who worked on this book. It's also the first cover appearance of longtime Tony Stark friend James Rhodes, later War Machine, a character I like, and also the third appearance in costume of the Scott Lang Ant-Man, another character Bob Layton is known for drawing. So fantastic book, guys. Really cool. Pretty good shape for it as well. And again, for the price, you couldn't beat it. Both these books, I think, had a sticker price of $4, but they gave us a little bit of a discount at the counter because Steve and Ethan are regulars there. I got these both for $3 each, which I think is an absolutely great deal for these. So that first location we went to was called Rubber Chicken Comics in Bellingham, Massachusetts. This is a store I've wanted to go to for a while because I was on a comic book crawl with the guys from 3 Men in a Basement, and this was one of the stops. But it was at the end of the day, and I had to leave early, so I didn't get to go, and everyone raves about this store, so I was really happy that Steve and Ethan brought me, and it definitely didn't disappoint. You saw it is literally floor to ceiling full of comics and cool stuff, not just like amazing wall books and good stuff, but the back issue bins, guys. Some of the best 50-cent, $1, and $5 bins I've ever seen in my life, and I got some fantastic stuff. Had I known how good the stuff was, I would have spent more time there. I mean, because it was the first stop of the day, I thought we'd be pacing ourselves. I gotta go back, guys. That's all I'm gonna say. I could have spent a lot more time, a lot more money there. So let's actually start with the books I got out of the 50-cent bin. I'll tell you guys this right up front, because Steve and Ethan are regulars, they gave us like a 15% discount, meaning all of these books here, I essentially got as throw-ins for free. I got some run fillers for my X-Men collections. We have Uncanny X-Men number 309. We have Uncanny X-Men number 323. These are all from the 90s, right? And then we have Uncanny X-Men number 339. Awesome Adam Kubert cover of the brothers fighting each other. Cyclops versus Havoc. Fun fact, their powers sort of cancel each other out and they can't really hurt each other. They also don't like each other very much. Also, I believe this opens up with, this opens up with a Spider-Man versus Bishop fight. Not a fight you see very often, if ever again. I'm not so sure. And then we're jumping ahead into the 2000s on the Ed Brubaker run. We have Uncanny X-Men number 496. Great cover by Mike Choi of the Three Amigos. Also got this one. I've talked about this on my channel in the past. X-Men Deadly Genesis, issue 5 of 6. This is where we are introduced to the third Summers brother, Gabriel Summers, a.k.a. Vulcan. So we had Cyclops and Havoc. And now we have Vulcan. And then the last 50-cent book I got was this. This is Warp number 1, published by First Comics in 1983. I knew nothing about this book. I've seen it in back issue bins before, didn't know what it was about. Well, Steve and Ethan pointed out that this is a series done by Frank Bruner. He did the art. Frank Bruner I love because of his amazing work on Doctor Strange and Man-Thing. And because I like his art, I thought I would give this a try. There was like a whole run in that box. So happy to pick this up and check it out. I then went to the back issues where I found this book here, X-Men number 53 from 1996. I've spoken about this on my channel in the past. This is the first appearance of the villain Onslaught, a very powerful entity made up of the psychic energies of Professor X and Magneto. Because comic books, he was part of a big crossover event where the entire Marvel Universe had to get together to defeat him. Yeah, I already own this book, but this is a much higher grade copy. Also, at the end of X-Men 97, they sort of hinted at Onslaught in future seasons. Who knows if we'll see him. Okay, these last 4 issues I got all out of that $5 bin. And like I said, I could have spent the whole day there and a lot more money going through those bins. So I'll definitely have to go back. Absolutely awesome stuff. Let's start with this one. This is Bizarre Adventures number 34. This is a series published by Marvel Comics, originally as black and white magazine size books. You see here in its proper comic book size. And these were made of multiple stories that were bizarre, wacky, strange, science fiction, and yes, horror. And this is a Christmas themed one from 1982. Multiple stories that were kind of Christmas horror. And you can tell by the cover with this skeleton dressed up as Santa Claus. But the reason I wanted this, not only is this an awesome cover, it's by Joe Jusko, one of my favorite artists ever. I know him from the Marvel trading cards in the 90s. Had to pick this up for $5, guys. We have Halloween and Christmas coming up. Come on, had to get it. This book's pretty cool. It's a little key issue. Firestorm number 3 from 1978, art by Al Milgrom. Not only is this the 3rd appearance of Firestorm, it's the 1st appearance of Killer Frost. So there's been, I think, at least 3 versions of Killer Frost. She can basically take heat and convert it to extreme cold. She's often associated with Firestorm, and she's appeared in lots of media. She's been in cartoons and live action portrayed by many people. She's a cool character. Her first appearance right here. Had to pick it up for $5. All right, this is a pretty awesome find for $5. It's this. This is Star Wars number 2. This is from 1977, and of course, this is part of the comic adaptation of the original 1977 Star Wars movie, later known as Episode 4, A New Hope. And because these comic books are adapting the movie, they are full of first appearances of those people in the movies and all the extended, universe stuff. So I'll talk about the first appearances in a second, but first I want to point out that these were notoriously reprinted. Every time a movie came out, they would reprint these, and you can tell the difference because a lot of times they would, cost more money. It'd be like a 35-cent book. Oftentimes they would write reprint, and sometimes they actually have different text on the cover. I was very relieved to find out this is, in fact, an original first print 1977 Star Wars number 2, which means it's the actual first appearances of Obi-Wan, Han Solo, Chewbacca, the Millennium Falcon, Greedo, and Jabba the Hutt. Kind of. Now, most people would remember that, Jabba the Hutt did not appear in the original 1977 Star Wars movie. He did not appear later until 1983's Return of the Jedi, although they do mention him, of course, multiple times leading up to them. But I think a lot of people know this now that he was in the original script. In fact, they actually filmed a scene where Han Solo bumps into Jabba after he's blown away Greedo outside of the Millennium Falcon. They actually filmed that scene originally, but they didn't yet know Jabba was going to be a big slug creature, so they just used a human stand-in. Well, when they reintegrated that scene in the late 90s in the special edition, they used CG to put Jabba in there, and it wasn't very good CG. But I think most people now know that scene exists. Well, that's in this comic book, word for word. The exact scene. It's very cool. The thing is, even back then, guys, they didn't know what Jabba was going to look like. They just knew they wanted an alien. So you see him in here, but he's not a human, and he's not a big slug. He's a different alien entirely. And what's so cool is when I opened this book to look at it, I recognized the alien. Because here's the thing, I'm a nerd. Clearly, I'm a nerd, but my nerdness goes deeper than I think a lot of people know. I've been a big Star Wars fan since I was little, and since I'm into gaming, I'm into Star Wars games. And I have competitively, a long time ago in another life, I was pretty good at the Star Wars miniatures game and the Star Wars CCG, the customizable card game from the 90s. Printed by Decipher. I was very good at it. I had all the cards, and when I looked at the character in here, I recognized it. I recognize it as this character. I still have the card, guys. I still have the card. This is insane. This is a character called Mosep. And it says up there that he's actually the accountant of Jabba the Hutt. That's because of this comic book, they retconned who this character was. They used that alien. They said later on, well, it's not Jabba, obviously. Let's call this character Mosep. Crazy story, guys, right? Really deep nerd cut, but hopefully some of you Star Wars fans out there appreciated it. So, guys, $5 for Star Wars number 2 and the first appearance of all those characters in kind of Jabba the Hutt. Absolutely all day, every day, guys. But this last book is the best thing I found on the day. It's absolutely awesome. And it is this. This is Detective Comics number 373 from 1968. And this is the second appearance of Victor Freeze, better known as Mr. Freeze. Now, he first appeared in Batman number 121 in 1959, but he wasn't known as Mr. Freeze. He was known as Mr. Zero. Here he is for the first time 9 years later as Mr. Freeze. So you can say it's the first appearance of him in the 60s, although you can't say the first in the Silver Age because 1959 was technically the Silver Age. But either way, guys, super early appearance of Mr. Freeze and the first time he's called that. Very iconic Batman villain. Looks very different here in this cover by Irv Novick, but still an awesome pickup. There were actually 2 copies of this book, a much lower grade one with a split on the spine. In this copy, it has some defects, it has some spine ticks, but guys, for $5 for this book, it's absolutely worth more than that. Super excited to have found this and picked it up. So all told, guys, at Rubber Chicken Comics, I got all these comic books, all of them, for $22. I mentioned they gave us a discount. 22 bucks is insane, guys. These are worth more than $22, obviously. What a fantastic place. I can't wait to go back. If you find yourself in the area of Bellingham, Massachusetts, or like Northern Rhode Island, definitely worth stopping in at Rubber Chicken Comics. And once again, a huge thank you to Steve and Ethan for bringing me around and being such gracious hosts. Can't wait to do some hunting with you guys again. Head on down to the comments, guys, and let me know which of my pickups you like the best, and do you think I paid a fair price? Of course I did. I spent less than $30 on the whole day. That's some lunch money comics prices right there. In the meantime, keep hunting for comic books in strange and unusual places as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.